Seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. And I'll quote the Washington Post, where they wrote about this, and they said how Republicans use misleading videos to attack Biden in a 24-hour period. And to their credit, we have a conservative Washington Examiner did call them out as well, calling out the New York Post. Ironically, several recent cheap fakes actually attacked the president for thanking troops. For thanking troops. That is what they're attacking the president for. Both in Normandy this happened, and again in Italy. And I think that it tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here. And instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos. And it is, again, done in bad faith.
So, yeah, we got to double back to this story with Jean-Pierre in the Democrat establishment saying that these videos of Joe Biden malfunctioning are deep fakes. Oh, geez. Goodness gracious. You know, just when you thought they couldn't stoop any lower, they managed to pull it off. You know, they managed to pull it off once again. Well, not only are those clips, plus more, going viral here in America, but other countries are talking about it as well. It's not just here in America where people see that Joe Biden is weak and feeble. Okay? As much as the Democrat establishment wants us to believe that the videos are fake, we all know that it's real. It's not like there were, you know, Republican operatives hiding in the bushes, you know. every time Joe Biden, you know, steps out, hide in the bushes and jump out. Ooh, we got him on camera, you know? Like, these are video clips taken by official media personnel that are at these events, and the video has been disseminated to the American public to see, and we all get to see exactly how weak and feeble Joe Biden actually is. So I want to show you guys a couple of these clips from other countries laughing at us because of Joe Biden. Check out this first clip.
All right, guys, Joe Biden's had a terrible, no good, rotten week, embarrassing the United States on a world stage. This right here is what Italy's largest paper is saying, and you have to hear what one of England's largest papers is saying as well. Check this out.
Also, last night, awkward moment with President Biden where he was looking very doddery. He was wandering around. He sort of wandered off, and Giorgia Meloni, the Italian premier, had to sort of guide him back to the crowd. It was quite painful viewing. Everyone's putting a slight brave face on it this morning. We've got some more for that for the paper tomorrow. But yeah, you can see from that footage yourself. It's, you know, this is getting embarrassing now. And you know, you do really wonder how President Biden is going to be able to run an election campaign in October and November for.
So, yeah, other countries are laughing at it, but not only there, I have another clip as well of just other countries laughing at this guy, Joe Biden. Check this one out too.
But first, I've spoken many times about the very public and obvious cognitive decline of the US president. Like many others, I've lamented the precarious state of the leader of the free world. And let's be honest, the man we rely on here in Australia to keep us safe, because God knows we can't do that ourselves. I've laughed when he's gaffed, and I've scoffed when he's humiliated himself on the global stage. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, we've entered a new era, and there is not one thing funny about it. Not a single tiny little thing. For the first time, I didn't watch a man slur his words a little bit or forget his surroundings momentarily. I watched a man completely void of all awareness, a man not present at all in mind, a man who desperately needs help and care.
Instead of trying to stop our ban on ghost gun kits that contain these, that can commit crimes, they're working like hell to stop it.
Now, this is no longer the fault of Joe Biden in any way, shape or form, i.e. an unwillingness to walk away or to give up power. No, he is well beyond that now. And that was flattering, by the way, that vision we showed you. The blame for this tragedy lies squarely on the people around him, the people who are meant to love him, meant to love their country. What they are allowing, enabling and encouraging is a disgrace, and one from which he and his political reputation, legacy, whatever you may think of it, will never recover. He should have been helped to walk away months, if not years ago. There is no shame in being unwell. Zero. It's not that he's old. I know people far older who are sharp as tacks. It's not his age. He is unwell. He can't control it. It's sad. Many of us have seen our own loved ones go through similar things. It is just cruel to continue propping him up and putting him in places he does not belong. Jill, Dr. Jill Biden, where are you? How could you? You are meant to love him. He is not a man in control. He needs people who love him to step in now. Abuse might feel like too strong a word, but it's the first that comes to mind now whenever I see the president in public. And we all lose in this situation. All of us, the president included. This is not good for him. I'll leave you with this. There is no way in hell Joe Biden is running America. No way. Which raises a question, who is? And in a democratic society, that just ain't good enough. We elect leaders, then live with the consequences of what the majority of us wanted at the time, what we chose. Whoever is calling the shots was not voted in. Now, in 5 months, it's looking more and more likely to be, well, a very different story. You might dislike Donald Trump, plenty do, but you will never, ever doubt that he's the one in charge. This morning, he returned to Washington for the first time since the January 6 riots.
We have to take this beautiful place and we have to make it really something very special again. Right now, it's not special.
And let's hope for all our sakes, and given the alternative, come November, he'll be there on a much more permanent basis.
I love that ending. Let's hope he'll be there on a much more permanent basis. Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Yeah, that was Australian news. Australian news can see exactly what is happening, that Joe Biden is weak and feeble, and he's not the one running the show. We've all been saying that, but the leftist establishment, the leftist Democratic establishment has been telling us that we were right-wing extremists, and that's a conspiracy theory. Joe Biden is sharp. No, he is not. And everybody on this planet can see it. Everybody. So while they're trying to convince us that he's okay, everything's great, and that these videos of him mumbling, stumbling, and bumbling are deep fakes, everybody in the world is watching. Some are laughing. Others just flat out feel bad for him. I don't personally. Do I hate the guy? No, I don't hate him. Absolutely not. Don't hate him at all. I obviously disagree with his policies, that he's been implementing, or the people around him have been implementing. But I don't dislike the guy, But I also don't feel bad for him, because I do believe he had an opportunity some years ago to just walk away, and he chose not to. And I think that young lady made a great point when she brought up Jill, because I think Jill is the one that is keeping him there at this point. And a lot of you have talked about how you've watched your parents in the past go through a similar situation to Joe Biden, or exactly the same as Joe Biden. And a lot of you have said, I know what this is. I've seen it in my parents. I've watched it up close. They might have a moment or two here or there where, you know, like it all comes back and it seems like, oh, we got him back. But then it just goes sliding back down the hill again. You know, is it sad? Sure. You know, he's a human. Okay. He's a fellow American. Okay. Even though I feel like he's allowing people that hate America to run America right now. But he is an American. So it is sad. You know, it is sad. He is a human. It is sad. But yeah, man, it's just amazing how the media is trying to convince us that he's okay. That it's MAGA propaganda that he's not okay. And of course, when they go to remove him, they're going to try to make a spin on it, make it seem like a farewell and he did a great job and he was so commendable and blah, 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 because they're going to get rid of Joe. When Trump destroys him in this debate, they're going to get rid of him. Now, how that happens, I'm not too sure. Or how it exactly happens, I'm not too sure. But I'd be willing to bet that that one of the routes that they go is, oh, it's so commendable that he's just stepping away to just go be with his family and Hunter and blah, blah, blah. You know, the whole nine, to try to get some sympathy out of the entire situation. Knowing full well they all knew exactly what was going on the entire time. And they'll never apologize for it. Ever. They'll never apologize for getting on live television and lying to the American people, telling us that this man was okay when they knew he wasn't. They see him on a daily basis. They know he's not okay. But we'll never get an apology for it. Not ever. But to that I say, I don't think it'll matter anyway. Trump's coming in November, baby. And I can't wait. Peace and love. I'm out.